Hi, it's Miss Angie from the Batavia Branch Library and the Owensville Branch Library. And today I have a fun story time about buses because we're getting ready to go back to school. So our first book is Time for School Dewey Do. But first, before we get our story, let's get our wiggles out. So we're going to wiggle our fingers and wiggle our toes, wiggle our hands and wiggle our nose, wiggle our ears and wiggle our legs, and then wiggle all up and down and get all your wiggles out. Wiggle hard, wiggle hard. And now we all sit down. All right. So, as you can see, Dewey does not want to go to school. Click, clack, waddle, waddle, dot, dot, Dewey do, from planet 872.9, did not want to go to school. Not on his planet, not on the planet of Jupiter, not on the space station Zumalot, and definitely not on Mrs. Brightham's School for Little Learners on planet Earth. Hergle glop, he said as his mother helped him get ready. Hergle glop, hergle glop, hergle glop. I know, Dewey said, Mom, but everyone has to go to school sometime. So off they went. Brand new earth shoes pinched his oofs. The earth socks drooped around his hunkles. Earth pants came way up over his girdle. And Mrs. Brightham's School for Little Learners t-shirt he had on didn't fit him right in any direction. He felt like a dwarfling. So even though he was pretty sure he was much too old for it, he did his dwarfling, and just a little bit, very quietly, all the way there with a glop, glop, glop. And when they got to the open yellow doors at Mrs. Brightham's school, Dewey's mother dried his eyes, kissed him on the eek, and told him that everything would be okay. But nothing was. Mrs. Brightham's school was full of new things. There were things called cubbies and things called books. There were listening and settle down and raise your hand. And not to mention his teacher, Mrs. Brightham, who had a ding, 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 a shiny spaceship on her desk. Earth noises sounded weird to Dewey's ears. Ding, ding, ding. The earth words felt weird and hard in his mouth. Cow. And everything looked bright and strange and confusing. Doesn't he look like he blended in? There were lots of kids with lots of different colors, but none of them were click, clack, waddle, waddle, Dewey doos blue. Some of them had two, where he only had one. Like eyes, he has two and Dewey only has one. What? Some of them had five, where he only had three. He looking at his fingers. And some of them had lots of something that he had none of. Hair. He had no hair. And when it was time to line up 2 by 2 for recess, click, clack, waddle, waddle, dot, dot, Dewey do stood blue and confused in the back of the room with the tiny little dwarf threatening to come down his eyeball and down the cheek. But when J.J. Bergendorf Harvey Meyer III smiled and said, "Hi, my name is J.J. Want to come stand in line with me?" Click, clack, waddle, waddle, dot, dot, Dewey do smiled right back. And As they walked out to the playground side by side, the light from his smile grew so bright. Look how bright that is. It sent a beam of happiness all the way from Mrs. Brightham's school, past the moons of Jupiter, past the space station Zumalot, off all the way around the planet 790.2 and back to Earth again. And when Dewey Doo's mother picked him up at the end of the day, he told her all about the playground and the Cubbies and J.J. Harvey Meyer III. And even though he was pretty sure he was much too old for it, he let her pick him up and spin him around and cover his eeks with kisses. And because maybe, just maybe, everything was just going to be okay. And that's the end of our story. Did you notice that Dewey Doo's bus is actually a spacecraft? That's way cooler than buses, isn't that? I'd take a spaceship to school any day. All right, our next story is going to be up here, and it is about buses. So we have, let's count them together. 1 little bus, 2 little bus, 3 little buses. And now we have 4 little buses, 5 little buses. How many do we have next? We have 6 little buses. We have 7 little buses, 8 little buses, 9 little buses, 10 little buses, all parked in a row, just like school. Now, what happens if 1 little bus drives off? How many buses do we have now? That's right, we have 9 little buses. And what if this bus drives away? How many buses do we have now? Right, 8. You're doing so good with your counting. Now, how about if this little bus drives away? How many do we have? That's right, we have 7 little buses. Now, okay, things are going to get trickier. That one pulls away. How many buses do we have now? We have 6 little buses, that's right. And what happens if that little bus drives away? How many buses do we have? That's tricky. Let's count them. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's right, 5 little buses. And what happens if that little bus drives away? How many do we have now? That's right, we've got 4 little buses. And if that bus drives away, how many do we have now? Right, 3 little buses. And what if this bus drives away? How many buses do we have now? We've got 2 little buses. Now, what happens if this bus drives away? How many do we have left? 1 bus left. Now, what if this bus drives away? How many buses do we have now? You're right, 0. You did a great job counting backwards. Give yourself a hand for that. All right. The last thing we're going to do today is we're going to learn a school song. It's called It's Cool to Go to School. Now I know going to school is a little scary, but it always helped me when I was getting up in the morning to sing a song. So I'm going to teach you a song and hopefully you can remember it and it'll help you when you go to school. So I'm learning everything today. I'm learning everything today. It's so cool to go to school. I'm learning every day. I'm learning about my letters. I'm learning about my letters. It's important to know so I can read. I'm learning about my letters. I'm learning about my numbers. I'm learning about my numbers. It's so cool to learn and count. I'm learning about my numbers. I'm learning how to write. I'm learning how to write. It's important with the curvy lines to learn and learn to write. Very good. I hope that everybody is doing well today and having fun in the summer sun. And I'm also hoping that you're excited about going back to school and learning all kinds of new things. So make sure to check out plenty of books and listen to songs and get ready and practice reading. We have a ton of stuff to help you. As you can see, plenty of books about going back to school. So have a great day, and I will see you again soon. Thanks. Bye.